In a city filled with nothing but movie star mansions, this was probably the last type of architecture you'd expect to see in the city of Beverly Hills. But you see, this home actually originates from Hollywood. This home was built in Culver City in the 1920s. It was moved here in Beverly Hills and is now owned by renowned realtor Libow.
Yes. You're here.
Michael.
You made it.
It's so good to see you.
I mean, you're late, but come on.
Oh, my God, I'm new.
I miss
so
you.
good to see you.
No, I haven't seen you for a
I
long
know,
time.
and it's such a
like
rare-
every Halloween, you show up.
I know I do, don't I?
Yeah.
Michael has been kind enough to invite me in to tour the home while he prepares to welcome more than 4,000 trick-or-treaters this Halloween. When you bought this house, it didn't look anything like this inside.
No.
And you've added different rooms and...
I thought I could do like a quick cleanup in the kitchen a little bit. It was gutted from outside in.
What?
Flocked wallpaper,
No.
sliding glass doors,
No.
like bad 60s bordello. But my concept was I wanted it to look, it's Storybook, right?
Yeah,
The
right.
whole style is Storybook
Sure.
Style. So the interior, which I never did, I wanted it to feel like a 300-year-old cottage. So I think I've been successful in getting that vibe going.
Storybook architecture requires three things. It should appear medieval to an overblown degree. It must be deliberately made to look old, and it needs to exude a sense of whimsy. Does it take a certain type of person to live here?
Oh, absolutely, and I am that person. The house has its own life going on, it just feels like it's alive. It really does. And I respect that about the home, but I'm probably the person to be, as I call myself, the keeper of the witch. I am it.
So this is a balcony that really shows off the roof.
Yeah.
Explain.
And the design of the home. Yeah, the installation of this roof, Alison, was like a master class in insurance liability. Every bit of the roof, if you notice, it's sort of undulating and moving. So they had to build it up with extra plywood to give it that effect. And each shingle was hand dip dyed because I didn't want it to look like new cedar shingle, which it is.
One of the places that everybody likes to go to in a home is the kitchen.
It's my favorite place.
Is it?
And the best part is I don't even cook. It's like one of these things where I wanted a great kitchen for show.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah,
This is
the heart.
amazing. I mean,
it's actually a major stove called Lock on You. The only reason I got it is because it came in cool colors.
so did you obviously get the stove first and then build this around it? Or how did you?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
And it just happened that the size of this worked out properly.
Check out these chairs. They don't look that comfortable.
They are
Michael.
not comfortable, and there's a mission to my madness.
What is it?
The mission is you have a dinner party. Do you really want guests to linger? No. So get with the program. Hard chairs, uncomfortable. The meal's done. They leave, and you have your house back to yourself.
Let me test it.
Try
test
me.
it. Okay, let's see.
Tell me
man, they are
tell
not.
me.
They're terrible.
Thank you.
They're horrible chairs. Tell me about this vintage Barber's chair.
It is my ode to Stephen Sondheim, Sweeney Todd. Now, there's no hole in the ground. We don't chop people up and throw them into the basement. But it's a 19th century barber's chair.
It is?
And it's functional, and it's super cool. And where else would it work in the middle of a house except the witch's house?
You have a piano in your house, but you don't play, but you sing.
It's witchcraft, wicked witchcraft.
I noticed that there's like these little doors that lead to, I don't know where, but look at that little one.
We cannot talk about where they lead to. But candidly, it's like a Lord of the Rings vibe. Have you ever been to Hobbiton in New Zealand? I was there a few years ago, pre-COVID. And it was just like looking at my home on a miniature scale. I always say, I did this before Peter Jackson designed his stuff, so come at me, man.
As if.
This house makes a great, very, very famous cameo in the movie Clueless, and yet it's only like a 10-second shot.
It does, and everybody thinks it's in Hocus Pocus as well, but it's not. But I will tell you, I went to showing of Clueless some years ago, and when that scene came on, people started applauding, and they didn't know I was there. And I was sitting there thinking, really? But it has its
yes.
allure.
All right, have a good day, huh?
As I was walking up to the house, parked right in front, I walked in. The 4 seconds it took me to walk up here, I think I saw 3 tour buses go by.
Well, some of the neighbors really would have preferred it to be gone because it brings a lot of attention to the neighborhood. But when they realize that the attention also is a good security device, because honestly, when there's people all around all the time, it really does help the neighborhood quite a bit in that regard.
I actually grew up trick-or-treating at this house. The owners at the time dressed up as ghosts and goblins and handed out candy from witch's brew to thousands of kids who came from all over the city. And it gets better. Michael continues the Halloween tradition and has allowed me to take part in it year after year.
On Halloween, generally 4,000 to 5,000 people lined up around the block to wait for candy. So I've got, as I call them, staff, which are really just friends of mine who love to do it. Thank you, dear.
What's very comforting to me is that you still keep the tradition of trick-or-treating in your house at the witch's house.
It's kind of mandatory, but I love it.
What would happen if you didn't do it one year?
We tried it one year.
Oh no!
Everybody still showed up. We advertised in the local papers, you know, like Witch's House closed out of respect for some of the neighbors who complained. Everybody still showed up. So I was like, you know what, this is my mission in life.
What began as a gradual renovation project 15 years ago turned into something else. Landmark 8 to the city of Beverly Hills.
I have intentionally landmarked the home. I was involved with the process that the city designed when they started their historic preservation ordinance. So my house is number 8 in terms of landmark, but I wanted it to be landmarked because when I'm like, you know, gone with the wind, so to speak, I just want the house to be preserved. I don't want somebody to come in, and anybody could have torn it down. When I bought it, it was ready to be torn down. Even when I'm not here, the best part about this home is it brings a smile to people's faces. And if I can leave that as like my legacy through the community, through the world, just to get somebody out of their doldrums, out of their trauma, maybe just for a minute, and bring a smile to their face, it's a big deal.